Okay, here's a quick video on teaching vibrato, which is very challenging. It's hard to know exactly how to approach teaching vibrato. And I think the Suzuki books aren't always ideal because a lot of the pieces are not melodic enough for students to really develop their vibrato. So it's a great idea to step away from the Suzuki books when you're first introducing vibrato, or even go back to some of the pieces in book 1 or maybe book 2 to just kind of examine the slower, more melodic music that'll help you develop vibrato with your students. We talked about this semester hearing vibrato from the beginning near their ears. So rather than the teacher being here and the student being here and the teacher vibrating, the teacher should go right next to the student's ear, left ear, where they will be hearing vibrato from when they actually do it, because it's really different to have it that close to you and to really kind of observe and hear vibrato up close. So that's really important. Another great start for vibrato is to have them sing, practice singing like an opera singer, which is fun and sometimes just crazy in lessons, but I think it's a good approach to let them feel how vibrato feels physically in their voices, and then they can imitate that in their hands. Another great exercise, I've been teaching my students this, and I've been calling it karate vibrato, because I have them start like this. I don't really even know if this is karate, but it looks like karate. So having them start like this, and then curving the fingers so that they have a little tunnel here. And then we use the wrist motion like this to rock forward and back. It's important too that their elbows aren't out like this, but it is how it will be. This, and then we move into patterns and we move into rhythms. I've been having students do it with the metronome on different fingers. None of my students have gotten to the point where they can do double stops yet, but we're getting there. This is really, really good for them, and doing 2 and then 3 and then 4 and then 6, and eventually they're really doing real vibrato this way. Then after that, it's great to grab the instrument and have them kind of rock against the bout like this and kind of mimic the motion that they'll be making. Another great approach is doing glissando, up and down like this. Big motions that gradually narrow into smaller motions, and then the finger is set eventually, and then this is how they get into vibrato, the transition here. I also have been focusing a lot on thumb level. I've noticed that when students do this, their thumbs are kind of up tall here, and that's just not really ideal for vibrato in any position. So keeping an eye on that is really important. And then one other exercise that was actually really challenging for me personally was the one where you take your thumb off and you vibrate, and then you keep your thumb on and you vibrate just your fingers like this. Just mentally creating those pathways to really be in complete command of your vibrato, so that it's not something that just happens, but it's something that is very intentional mentally and physically through that whole process. And then the last exercise, of course, would be for the teacher to completely guide vibrato. And the student, gives them the full weight of their arm. I don't have a second person here to do that, but the teacher can hold the hand, and we practice this a whole bunch, and really just physically help them find the basic movement of vibrato so that they can replicate that on their own. And then I think it's important to gradually give back the weight of their arm, so that eventually it's not just the teacher holding it up, but the student kind of eases into sort of mimicking that motion on their own without teacher interference, or I guess help there, because it should just be a stepping stone getting them towards the point of independence. So that's vibrato. Thanks.